All right, welcome. So glad you're here. So glad you hit that subscribe button. So glad you joined us today. And those of you guys that picked it, it says change this to change your life. And I know you're in the car. I don't know. Maybe you're at the gym on the treadmill and you're like, man, what do I got to change? Yo, Jeremy, optimal self. What do I got to change my life? Well, here's what it comes down to, as I'm going to break it down for you really simple, is that what we all think it is behavior, which means you have to do something different. Yes, that's true. We also know that it's belief, that I've got to believe. I got to believe in the plan. I got to believe in myself. I got to believe that I'm worthy, capable, and deserving, right? We know that. But there's a third thing that we're missing. So let me break it down to you again. Behavior change is harder to maintain than belief change. Ready? Let me say it again. Behavior change is harder to maintain than if you have a true belief change. Think about it. I'm going to change this. Oh, I want to lose weight. And so for a day or two, you go to the gym. You might make a different choice when it comes to food. That behavior that you change. But is it sustainable? Not if you don't have the belief. Not if you don't have the belief. So behavior change is harder to maintain than belief change. Well, guess what? Belief change is harder to maintain than identity change. Again, we can start in on this belief. We start changing our belief, right? Which is a lot of times the external things that we do. And so we change the belief, and so we get a little bit better. We believe in ourselves, or we believe in the plan. We believe that this can get us there. But the truth is, and again, let me just go this farther, is that it takes you a little bit more to get to the behavior. The behaviors start to change. I start to do something different. But yet my true identity hasn't changed. So if behavior change is harder to maintain than belief change, and belief change is harder to maintain than identity change, it's because identity change equals reality change. Identity change, when you change your identity, when you change that, your reality changes. You see, when I just change behavior, a lot of times maybe I fall back, right? I fall back to the old default mechanisms that have been instilled in me since a kid that I need to break through, that I need reprogramming of. Same thing, I get belief change. I go, oh man, I'm believing it, Jeremy. Yeah, man, let's do this. But if you don't change the identity, if you don't change the core, then it's not lasting. It only lasts for a certain amount of time. How many times have you seen, again, I always use weight because it's just easy, because you see it all over the world, especially the United States, right? They got TV shows on it, The Biggest Loser, right? All of these shows. And you see these people go from these I think one of them, the guy was almost 400 pounds, and he gets all the way under 200. He's in like 180s or 190s. And then you go back and you look at them 2 and 3 years from now, and sometimes even less, and they're right back to where they started. Because their behaviors changed because they were on the show. They had a trainer, whatever. Their behaviors actually changed. Their belief changed because they were believing in the plan. They were following it over and over and over and over again. And then that all goes away. But guess what never changed? Guess what they never work on? They don't work on the identity. They didn't change their identity. They still didn't believe deep down. They didn't change who they were. They just changed all this exterior shit for a TV show. But how many of us are doing that all the time? That our identity, our true identity, doesn't match. That's why we are constantly in conflict with ourselves, not other people. You see, all the things that are going on right now, it's not so much that we're in conflict with other people. It's because you're in conflict with yourself. Because you don't have a true identity. You're trying to attach your identity to a political party. You're trying to attach your identity to a thing. You're trying to attach your identity. It doesn't even matter what it is. But it makes you feel good. But it's not who you are. Be you. There's a great quote from James Clear, Atomic Habits. You got to get it. If you haven't read it, get it on Audible, listen to it. Actually play it for like the next 2 years of your life over and over and over again. Just listen to it for real. Like it's that good. But one of my favorite things that he says in there is he says, true behavior change is identity change. When your behavior and identity are fully aligned, you are no longer pursuing the change. You are simply acting like the type of person you already believe yourself to be. That's what it all comes down to. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, you are simply acting like the type of person you already believe yourself to be. Right now you are. And so if your results aren't what you want, if your body isn't the way you want it, if your mind isn't the way you want it, if your bank account isn't the way you want it, if your relationship isn't the way you want it, if you don't have the job that you want, it's simply because you're acting like the type of person you believe yourself to believe. You've got to upgrade your identity. You've got to take it. You have to create that identity. You do. Nobody else. Nobody else can do it. You've got to do the work. So here it comes. If you want better, if you want lasting results, upgrade your identity. That's what it all comes down to. Because identity change equals reality change. You want to change your reality? Change your identity. It's very simple. Start with a line. Grab your piece of paper, put a line down the middle. On the left-hand side, put now at the top. That's who you are now. What don't you like? What are you dissatisfied with right now in your life? What is it? Write it out. List them all the way down the page. And then on the other side of the line, you write future. And whatever you wrote on that first line, write exactly what you want it to be on the second line. I'm broke. I'm wealthy. I have $13.52 in my checking account. I have 13 million in my checking account. Don't limit yourself. Why? Why? Read back. Einstein used to talk about it all the time, about how you can't limit imagination. Imagination is how everything gets built, how everything gets forward is through imagination. And you're limiting yourself because you believe it doesn't belong to you. That's identity. The only way to change it is to write it out, is to look at it, to understand. It's time. It's time for change, and the change is up to you. Nobody's coming to save you. You have it. You're the one. Be your optimal self. Be the best version of you, because you deserve it, and everybody around you deserves it. Inspire others to do the same. All right? That's all I got for you today. I'm walking away from you. You ready? Let's go do it. Let's all sit down and write out, man, who that person is 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. Heck, go 20 years out if you want. Because the only limit is in your mind. The only true limit is time. Because we're all going to run out of it someday. We're all going to run out of it someday. Don't go out without singing that amazing song that's inside of you. Don't go out without being the best version of you. All right? That's all I got for you. As always, you know where to hop to. If this is your first time, get over to optimalself.today. Join us. We do have an identity creator course. Love for you to have it. Love for you to be part of it. I'd love for you to be part of the community. Let's just keep touching people. Let's just keep rooting for each other. Root for your neighbor. Pull them up. When they feel down, be that voice. All right? Like, share, comment. Helps the algorithm. Helps everything. So I appreciate it. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, get out there and be the best version of you.